Would you provide us with the number of people who have been able to enroll on the telephone? The president gave an 800 number during his speech. Could we get a number of people who've enrolled on the telephone?
No, sir. We do not have reliable enrollment data. We will have that to you by the middle of November, as we committed to. We are collecting state data. We are collecting telephone data. We are collecting paper data. We are collecting website data. We want it to be reliable and accountable, and that's
reclaiming my time. Telephone data doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult to compile, since the number is likely quite low.
But she's data. Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Charles Hurt was kind enough to stay through the break. Charles, we instituted these hard breaks so that we make sure we get all the commercials in so we can afford to pay your huge contributor salary.
I'm so grateful for it.
Yes. But anyway, Charles, the great Charles Hurt from the Washington Times. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, it is insane. And now Obama out today in Boston, and now the mantra has gone from, if you like your insurance, you could keep it, to, well, if you lose your insurance, you can get better insurance. And without a blink, without any egg on his face, without knowing that. I heard Bill O'Reilly, and I took him to task earlier today. Not he wasn't on, but I mean, I did take him to task. And Bill O'Reilly said that, and he's the only one I've heard say this, Democrat or Republican, really, in the media, that I don't think he purposely lied or misled. He probably didn't know. Come on, in 3 years, hundreds of times, the same thing over and over. No one ever said to him, Mr. President, not once. I don't think that's right. Come on.
But even if he didn't know, even if it was accidental, it's the stunning arrogance of actually thinking that you don't have to think through something like this.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think I think that they very purposefully hid all of the pain and totally deceived the American people, and it's why President Obama waited until after his reelection to do this, and it's why they pushed it back again after Democrats in Congress got all worried about it, and they pushed it past the 2012. If this were going on in 2012 or 2011, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It would be, Harry Reid would be gone, as would Nancy Pelosi.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I just, listening to her speak throughout that entire testimony, it was, you couldn't even believe that somebody was actually making some of these claims, and it's clear that I don't think that these people are capable of shame.
Charles, she said the website has never gone down. At the very same time, if you went to the website, it said, "Excuse us, we are down." I mean, you can't make it up.
Yeah, no, it's truly incredible. And then that line where in one of the few times where a Republican really laid into her and was asking her to sign up.
It would be against the law.
I don't know what she's talking about.
She said she has the same coverage that Congress has, as you heard her say, and that it would be, she thinks it would be against the law for her to drop her coverage and sign up. Really?
And if it is against the law, it's because she very specifically wrote the law so that it would be against the law for her to do it, because she doesn't want to have anything to do with this stuff. Her health care is too important, and that's what I think is going to this is there's no one who's not going to be affected by this who votes. And I think that this thing is going to turn out, and forget all the glitches and the little problems and stuff. It's the big stuff. It's the big systemic stuff where they're simply not going to be able to provide Americans with decent health care the way because it's a top-down, one size fits all, government knows best scheme.
Right. And you got to give senior citizens have to be insured for maternity.
Yeah, and it's this as you meant. And it's this strange thing where, I really do think that they are sort of in this cocoon. They're like, they tell themselves, "Oh, we're helping the poor people by giving everybody insurance." Well, and then of course at the same time accusing the Republicans of not wanting people to be insured, which is of course just.
Well, here's the thing, Charles. Here's what they see. The Republicans by now the House should have passed by now. Here's one page. You could keep the kids on your health care plan until they're 90. You could close the donut hole. You could no pre-existing conditions and whatever one or two other things that they keep touting that all Americans are benefiting from. Pass that now and say, here's our health care bill. The other crap out the window. But why don't they even do that? But I want to move on because we're running out of time. So Charlie Rose says to Dick Cheney, after Cheney was, in my view, treated like crap by Sanjay Gupta, you depressed?
I don't know why they agreed to do that interview.
I don't either. But anyway, so Charlie Rose says if you had more oxygen going to your brain, would you make better decisions? Based on the premise that Gupta put forth on 60 Minutes to Cheney, that with all your heart problems, you had less oxygen going to the brain. Were you depressed? Were you impaired? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I got a question for Gupta and Rose to ask President Obama. Hey, all those years you were rolled up with the windows rolled up in that van, smoking pot and doing drugs. Do you think? Yeah. Do you think that you're impaired in your decision making? And would you have been better if you had more oxygen flowing to your brain?
I think it's a perfectly fair question, and President Obama is still in charge too, so it's even more pertinent.
It makes me sick. It really does. It's just insane.
But these people, they can't resist the opportunity to. And it's a very uninteresting and sort of just a kind of a cliche almost to sort of attack Dick Cheney for all this stuff. But the bottom line is he was very much in the grip of fighting the war on terror, and whatever your opinion about all that stuff is, and the lengths that we went to in order to prosecute that war, just about everything has been left in place by the current president.
Right.
He's doing all the exact same stuff.
Absolutely.
So if you want to talk about how, Dick Cheney is Darth Vader and all this kind of stuff, well, President Obama put on the exact same Darth Vader outfit as soon as he became president.
And Charles, I'm also waiting, and we got to go, and I'm also waiting for Gupta when Hillary runs to ask her about her hits to the head and her passing out and all that kind of stuff, and if she has enough oxygen going to her brain. Hey.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I know. Well, then I won't have oxygen going to my brain.
It'll be
Charles, a lot of fun. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Steve.
Charles Hurt, ladies and gentlemen, Washington Times. Oh, boy. Here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And we are coming back. And we're going to be joined by Mickey Koss, contributor to the Daily Caller. We'll talk some immigration.